What is up, guys? Can everybody hear me? Hopefully, you guys are having an amazing day. I'll be honest, I accidentally clicked go live, so fuck it, we're live because today is ordering food. So we'll wait for everybody to get in the chat. One's in the chat if you can hear me while we do this. I'm going to share the link around. Today we've got a lot of things to go through. We've got a little bit of TA to go through, some trades that we're discussing, and some market analysis. If this is your first time watching this video, and these types of streams, these are market updates. We've done things like call the virtuals run up. We called the top, as you can see, local top for Bitcoin. We also called the AI run for spec and other trades like this. And those trades you can only see on these live videos. It's not things where I make fixed live videos about it or crazy shills in Telegram. These are just things which we are just doing in the market. We're just flowing with the market. There's so many trades. I make hundreds and hundreds of trades outside of live YouTube videos and calls because I don't want to be a caller. I'm just an investor and I'm just documenting my journey. Same thing with Crypto Data. If you don't know who Crypto Data is, he's a very, very experienced trader, an investor, an entrepreneur. He has a YouTube channel, which you can find the link for that inside of the description. And he also has a Telegram channel. So make sure you go and follow that Telegram channel. He's called some crazy, crazy plays as well. I'm going to drop this live link around for people to find it. Please, guys, share this link inside of any Telegram channels, any of the community channels that you are in, any of my community channels that we're in. Let's get everybody live today. It's a chill one. Nothing crazy, no crazy announcements as of yet. I will be doing a dev update and a update on Trenches AI 2 for anybody that wants to potentially get involved and know about them. Crypto Data, how you doing, bro?
Hey, what's going on, Tyrell? Always a pleasure for you having me. It's been great. It's been great. I've enjoyed this market so far. Obviously, there's been volatility,
Yep.
ups and downs like with anything, but I do think that we are very close to another bounce. I think this is the standard, holiday volatility as people kind of, spend time with their families. There's low liquidity, and then also you have people taking profits for taxes come next year. So I think that's perfectly normal what we're seeing now. But there's a lot of catalysts, and we'll definitely get to them. But yeah, I've been doing great, enjoying the AI run with the AI narrative. I know that recently you've had a very successful launch with Trench AI, so we're going to go over that, going over that chart as well, and then my opinion on some things with that. And yeah, it's going to be a great video. Excited for it.
Yeah, 100%, man. We have so much to discuss. So without further ado, bro, just hop straight into it.
All right, let's do it. So looking here, we have the Bitcoin charts. Like we said, we've been talking about this trend line on the weekly for the past 4 or 5 live streams, and it's
Yep.
respected this trend line to a T on this recent rise that we had, rejected off 107,000. Now, right now, we're kind of in the middle of this range, around 94.5K. And what I'm looking is either one, a drop down to this 90K level, which there are a lot of bids that are set here, or a potential push and trying to break this 100,000 level. Now, last time, just a few days ago, we did get towards 100,000. Unfortunately, we rejected off of it. So this could be one of those things where it's just a range until we break one or the other. But if I was a trading man, I would say, hey, just wait, be patient right now. If we get close to this 90K, you want to start looking at good value propositions. Okay, look for those high conviction plays, things like ENA, Link, Ondo, Solana, Ethereum. Like a lot of plays will be at their major support levels whenever Bitcoin is down here if we get down there. But other
Yes.
than that, just kind of waiting. We do have the signal line that is right, or the RSI that's right on that signal line on the weekly. So potentially we could have a bounce just like we did back in October, where you can see how high we bounced there. So very possible. The stock RSI is starting to get reset now on the weekly. So great to see on that front. If we go on the daily charts, you can see that the RSI does look like it wants to bounce here on this orange line, which actually has acted as support back in October as well. So you can see a lot of confluence with this orange level around 45. And also that stock RSI is oversold. So great to see there. Technically, it's even forming a bullish divergence. If you can see here, it's making a higher low, and then price is making a lower low, right? So little bullish divergence on the stock RSI. Hopefully that'll send us higher and past this 100K level. But that's what I'm watching right now for Bitcoin. Curious, Tyrell, your thoughts on Bitcoin right now?
It's an interesting one. In terms of like BTC, it's always one of those things where people like it bores people and then it moves for like a week or two straight. At this stage, we're at that stage where I think we're stacking in shorts. This is the perfect opportunity where people start taking short positions. They start. It's the same when we have a bottom. We have a bounce, we have a trend line, and it's like everybody's taking that long because we know that obviously they're going to set that liquidations below the trend line. This is the reverse. So this is the position where a lot of people now who are still bearish somehow, or who are maybe preparing or front running that January dump, which we're all expecting into the inauguration date. That is something which people might be trying to front run and setting them up. So in my opinion, I think that we probably will find support around here. This will be another play for momentum, and we will break all-time highs going into the new year. If you look at the new year run-ups historically, they do tend to be a nice run. And in hindsight, 2020, you would look at those new year runs and you'd buy them. So right now, even though we look pretty quote unquote bearish or anything like this, this is post-halving rallies, right? So that means that if we're post-halving, then we should, in theory, get a very, very, very nice run up. Yeah, this is a great example of each quarter. So Q1 is normally a pretty good quarter. You can see, 2024, 68% returns. 2023, 71% returns. 2022 is about break even. 2021, 100% returns. So odds on, like your risk to reward is great. You're risking at max 30% drawdown, but at best case scenario, you're looking at all the way up to 100%, maybe even 500% pumps, right? So this is something which, if you're an investor, I know most people that watch this channel, you're in the trenches, maybe you're trading high leverage, maybe you can't even afford a Bitcoin. We've all been there, right? At this stage, you have to look at these things, because if Bitcoin is green, and on average it's a green quarter, that means on average your high conviction plays are also going to be green. ARC, even things like Pepe, SHIB, WIF, BOOM, BONK, the whole shebang of the whole entire market. If Bitcoin is up 100% over a quarter, these tokens will be 5, 10x, 15x. Heck, you can even hit 100x gains on some of these, because this is, in my opinion, coming up towards the end of the cycle. I know it sounds crazy, but you just look at the chart, look at how volatile we are, look at the mass liquidations that we're having. This will be the end of the cycle, but the most profitable period of the cycle, as in like your whole entire net worth doubling, tripling, quadrupling. You'll get very, very euphoric. You'll see 17-year-olds buying fucking Bugattis. It will get that crazy because these meme coin kids are making crazy, crazy money, right? So with that being said, this needs to remind you that we're getting to the stage where you have to focus on what we're saying. You have to put your balls to the wall here. This is where, like, if you can catch good entries, like what Crypto Data is saying, finding the lows for things like ENA, Ethereum, Solana as well. Like, I still think that Solana's going minimum $500 to $800. With that being the case, that still means there's a run up on crazy size, So that is something which you should keep an eye on.
100%. And I see Shua Faf having a little
Having a
spasm
cry.
over there, asking about starting a new video from scratch. So yeah, we'll definitely start a how-to video on crypto from scratch. I know Tyrell has a lot of videos on that, basically start to finish, on how to trade meme coins, how to stay safe in crypto, how to get involved, like all that stuff. So definitely check Tyrell's channel, Crypto King, and you'll see a lot of videos there. But also, you're talking about Ethereum and Solana and a few others. So let's go ahead and cover those, and then I'm going to cover. I'll cover Trench AI as well at the end, and then we can cover some different narratives and things that I see
Yes.
for 2025 and things I think will be really big. So first, looking at Ethereum here. So there's a lot of different lines here. Let me just delete a couple. So right now for Ethereum, we had this trend line resistance. We broke it, tapped that 4,100 level, couldn't break it. It was resistance of March of this year, still resistance. then we broke to the downside below. So now this is trend line resistance again. Right now, around 35.50 seems to be the new resistance for Ethereum. Was previously support here, as you can see. So Ethereum's kind of in the same boat as Bitcoin right now. It's in the
Yeah.
middle of 35.50, which is resistance, and then around 3,000, which is support. So I would not be buying or selling here, or I should say longing or shorting. I would just be waiting to get to one of these levels, either break and close above this trend line at about 37.50, or they close below here, below 3,000. So I would just be waiting on those. But yeah, there's a good shorting or longing opportunities depending what we get. Looking at the indicators, so the RSI actually looks similar to Bitcoin here with it right above the signal line, which you can see, again, same thing. The last time it bounced off of the signal line, huge run to the upside. So could that be happening here? We're going to have to wait and see. Tyrell was saying January's historically, we have a drop in the beginning. The cycle's been a little different though. So
Yes.
we could have a run, basically front running up until Trump's inauguration. And maybe especially if he provides more clarity on the strategic Bitcoin reserve, where the government's going to buy 1.5 billion monthly until they have, I forgot exactly how much Bitcoin,
Ooh-wee.
but it is a lot. Yes, a lot of it. I think 40 billion worth, somewhere around there. But yeah, so that's something as well. Going to create some buy pressure in the markets once that's confirmed. And then you can see here the stock R side curving to the downside, so still a little bearish on the weekly, but same thing here as the RSI on the daily is, it looks like it wants to curve back up, and then the stock RSI is also overbought or oversold. So that's something good as well. So hopefully we'll see Ethereum start to curve to the upside here. But yeah, looking like a lot of altcoins have reset, at least their daily indicators, which is good to
Yep.
see. Could provide us some runway for at least the next week or two. So watching that closely. And then also USDT dominance. This is one that both of us have been talking about for a while now. Has played out to a T. It rejected. But one thing that's actually interesting here, that again, this is just slight bearish sentiment, is you can see that we bounced off of it, we rejected off of it as resistance, but then it actually closed above it, and now it's potentially acting as support. So this is a big level to watch, this trend line, which is around 4.3%. So if we can close the weekly back below it, that'll be extremely bullish for us, because USDT dominance means when people say, if it's going down, it means people are getting out of stable coins and investing back into Bitcoin and altcoins. And then when it rises, people are getting out of Bitcoin and altcoin and getting into stables. They're selling. So this is something that's interesting as well. And also, actually, it reminds me of the Mika regulation that's coming down the pipeline on December 30th, which for anyone who doesn't know what the Mika regulation is, basically it means that exchanges in the EU, I believe, are going to have to delist USDT. And so, yeah. And so this is already causing some quote unquote FUD. Basically, if you're in the EU and you hold USDT on a centralized exchange, I recommend selling it for USDC or transferring that USDT to a hot wallet, i.e. MetaMask, Phantom, etc. Getting it, to where you own it and not the exchange, because USDT isn't illegal, but they're just delisting it in EU exchanges. So that's something that's going to create some FUD. But one positive on that is, exchanges like BullX, like Blowfin, which is non-KYC, like you can trade USDT on there all day, right? Like that's still going to be fine. But yeah, if it's a centralized exchange in the EU, then I'll definitely convert that to USDC. So it'll be interesting to see how that affects this USDT dominance chart. Just curious on that. But yeah, there's USDT FUD every single cycle. Tyrell knows that. It happens where they're saying, hey, they don't have enough actual capital to back all of these USDT coins one to one. But in reality, I believe Tether is making, so far, they made over $7 billion in profit. I don't know if that's yearly or so far, but either way, they're making a lot of money. They
Ridiculous.
actually have,
Yeah.
and that's why they haven't been shut down yet. So they've been tested multiple times. I think this is just another way for the EU to be more, I don't know what you want to call it, but they're just clamping down really hard on a lot of these. And so,
Well,
Tyrell,
I
I don't know if you have
think,
any amplifying
bro,
info.
I think the UK and the US is turning into a third world country. Been saying this for a long time, but everybody's struggling. Nobody's really making money. Let's be honest. There's no
Yeah.
like developers, coders, AI, no crypto people. Like where the world is heading, the Europeans just ain't there. Ever since we had like Brexit and these types of things, everybody's like wrecked. Do you know what I'm saying? So nobody,
Yep.
there isn't much volume coming from the EU. Like even look at the markets when we're trenching. Nobody goes, "Oh my gosh, guys, it's EU hours. Market's gonna fall. Market's gonna fall." Everybody's everybody,
Exactly.
everybody's like
Yeah.
Asia or US. That's it, right?
Yeah, 100%. And two, this I remember also people were saying Mika is like the SEC of the EU now. So the EU is kind of getting their own SEC, Security and Exchange Commission.
Mm.
But they're definitely, a little bit harsher, I would say. But yeah, again, this is just some short-term FUD. That's why you're seeing a lot of fear in the market, as well as tax season and holiday season, all that combined. So yeah, just keep an eye on that stuff. But I wouldn't look too much into it. Just be aware of what it means. But yeah, USDT is still here to stay for most countries. So now looking at Solana. So Solana is one of those coins where I'm still bullish on. You can see right now that this 185 level tends to be fairly strong support, above 180, I would say at the very least. Now, it's been in this downward channel. It kind of got out of it, then claimed it again. So, really, if you want to buy Solana, I mean, right now may not be a bad spot. Like right now is a pretty good spot in my opinion. And then I would look to either take profits once it gets up to this level around 208, or potentially if it can break it and retest it as support, that could be another play as well. So it's kind of depending how you want to play this. The RSI on the daily is looking like it wants to cross back over the signal line here. If we go toward the weekly charts, this, you can see that this 180 level is very strong support. The RSI is reset at 50 and look like it wants to curve back to the upside. So that's another good signal there. So watching Solana, just like every other altcoin that's bleeding whenever Bitcoin pulls back. So nothing too crazy. But yeah, I would like to see it hold this 180 level on the weekly at the very least. So hopefully we maintain this level. If not, you may want to look at 159 as the next level of support. So just keep that in mind on Solana. And then also we do have this trendline support on the daily. So it's bounced off of this multiple times. So this trendline support is around 182. But again, the same thing still stands. If it holds above 180, bullish. If not, we could be in for a lot further downside. So hopefully we hold on that front. And then also AVAX. So eventually, again, I think AVAX will have its run. It had a
Hmm.
nice run a couple weeks ago, and then it kind of died as, the GameFi narrative is more of those risky narratives, you could say. And so it's usually one of the first coins or first narratives to sell off. And then people usually rotate to the strong narratives like AI, L1s, infrastructure plays,
Yep.
institutional plays, etc. So eventually AVAX will gain some traction. It may coincide with maybe the NFT run that we're going to have in January. We're going to have to see. But I will say at least we do have some type of bounce off this 21 weekly EMA. So that's good to see. If it can stay above $35, that'd be bullish. As you can see, that 21 weekly did act as resistance back in April and May. And then you can see resistance again in July, basically resistance again in October, and now it's acting as support. So I would look at this 35 level as a good level to buy if it can get near there.
Okay,
But
dope.
yeah, the RSI below signal line, stock RSI curving to the downside, and then the daily looks like it's kind of curving back up for the RSI, and the stock RSI is oversold. So again, similar things as ETH and Bitcoin. Tyrell, what's your thoughts on, I guess, Solana and AVAX?
Well, AVAX pissed me off a little bit because my mainnet launch, me and you, we were playing it. We was like, right, AVAX mainnet, like no, everybody's sleeping on it. Like boom, boom, boom. We're gonna hit this well. Um, and obviously it didn't go to plan, right? But that doesn't mean that
Mm-hmm.
it's over. This is where a lot of people go wrong. So, in my opinion, I'm still very bullish on AVAX. I still think AVAX does very well. Reason being is because it actually is quote unquote good tech, right? It's still good tech. It has one of the biggest crypto games in history, being Gunzilla on the chain. It has a lot of infrastructure plays and stuff like that. It's doing well. So, in my opinion, if we have the altcoin season, which we are hoping, um, AVAX going to do amazing, like amazing, like sort of high level play. If we don't, AVAX might be a next cycle play. It sounds crazy. It might be like the chain link. It might be like the chain link of last cycle where like everybody was thinking chain link was gonna hit, and then this cycle it really runs. But I'm counting on a good run for AVAX with things like Solana. Again, I think Solana does very well. Um, there's some other ones as well, like a lot of people like Sand and these types of tokens. I also still think Sand and Gala do very well as well. Okay, so in my opinion, again, to circle back, keep an eye on these, like keep these lists open, because when we U-turn, these will be in hindsight the dips where we was like, oh yeah, should have brought that. Like that just made sense.
Exactly. No, 100%. There's a lot of opportunity. And I think, like you said, once that hype comes back, more people will start to get it. But yeah, it is right near this previous support that I did have on, December 22nd, which was resistance around November. So may not be a bad bet. I'm going to keep a close eye on that. And then, yeah, let's talk about Trench AI. So Trench AI, I know is one of your projects that has done very well. First day it went parabolic to 15 mil MCAP, and then since then it's formed a nice double bottom on the 4 hour, and it's sending again. I think that it's one of those things where you have the proper, call it AI infrastructure, AI agent on Griffin, powered by Griffin, that is one of the main projects that is supported by Toli, the
Yes,
co-founder of Solana, and Trench AI has the founder of Griffin, who is supporting you,
yes,
correct?
yes. So, um, it's a crazy story, right? So I was building Trench AI for myself originally. This was about 2 to 3 months ago, and I was gonna code it myself. So I was coding. I was just using like ChatGPT, basic Python scripts, and the goal was to have an agent just trade meme coins for me because I'm too busy. Like even now, I'm trying to catch plays and stuff like that. Like people that track my wallet will see like I'm so just spontaneous and sporadic with what I buy, because I'm busy, right? I'm actually genuinely like doing loads of things. So I don't have the time to trench full time as much as I'd like to. So this is one thing I was interested in. And then we seen Griffin go absolutely parabolic. Now during Griffin's run, this was a time when obviously Dogecoin was having a crazy run. Like perps were going crazy. Like I was trading heavy. I completely like missed a lot of like Arc and Griffin and these types of runs. So after that, I had a chance to actually look into Griffin, look into Arc, look into things like Send, and actually into what Solana are building with AI. And I was like, oh shit, like these guys are on the same brainwave. They're thinking about the same thing. So I went completely U-turn. I said, look, we're gonna launch this on Griffin. We'll launch this as an app, and we're gonna double down on the UI and make it like something that everybody can use. Because I feel like originally it was PvP in these Solana markets. It's me versus you. It's you versus everyone else. It's the KOLs versus their audience, what people always say. Then it became versus a machine. So you have volume bots, you have huge spikes, you have things like liquidity grabs, bundles, and stuff like that, which people always start chasing. And now, in my opinion, it's going to be you versus the AI. So it's going to be agents that can launch their own tokens, that can trade the volatility, that understand about whale wallets and how to track it. And all of these things are already out there. It's just about putting these things together. So that's what we're building on Trench AI at the moment. MVP is actually almost finished, which is very bullish. And we've got a amazing amount of support. Like I can't be more grateful for the amount of support that we've had from Solana. You guys remember we was doing CTOs on Ton, and one of the biggest setbacks, it won't be the thing that stops us. We'll still do very well. I'm 100% certain about that. However, one of the biggest setbacks that we had was the fact that when we was running from 5K, I think a lot of people overlook that, to $30 million market cap on a CTO with zero money spent, we got no support initially from anybody on Ton. We had to fly around the world 3 to 5 times, literally, going from here to Asia, to London, back to like Singapore and these types of things, to Bali, around the world, to spread awareness for this thing out of my own pocket, just to develop the relationships to get half our support for these types of things, right? When we launched Trench AI, just on the market alone, right, we got amazing support from everybody on Solana. And I feel like that's the biggest difference that we've seen. We've seen support from a lot of like Solana, like team members and like people deep in Solana. We've got support from obviously the founder of Griffin as well. And this is what we want to see. Collaboration always beats competition. All we want to do is collaborate with people and help people because that's the whole point of technology. So with that being said, that's the reason why I think that we've had such amazing success with Trench AI. One of the biggest things that people were saying just on the markets when they look at it, people say, oh my God, why is there so many early buyers? Why does so many people? It's like, well, you can't have a fair launch and no early buyers. That's just not how it works. If you launch fair, people are gonna wait on the market and they're gonna blast every single ticker which looks similar to this. There was like 3 fake Trench AIs that launched, and then there was this one as well. And so that's why it went literally one candle straight up. But now, yeah, like you said, double bottom, good reversal. What do people say? Good tech.
That's right. That's right. The higher the price goes, the better the tech is.
So, yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah, no, it's great to see, like you said, on Solana. It's a lot easier, I think, for collaboration just because they get it, right? They've been around for a little longer. They've been around the block. There's a lot more people now. One, building in AI, which is going to be a narrative that's going to be here for the foreseeable future. I think AI is one of the biggest narratives, and you basically had the timing right, the hype right, the partnerships, the collaborations, everything aligned when you launched Trench AI,
Yes.
and you're just getting started. Like you said, the bot's just getting started, and I think that it's going to surprise a lot of people. And so, it's great to have that initial momentum. You build off of it. You have your standard accumulation, markup, distribution, markdown, now accumulation again, and the
Yes.
cycle is going to repeat, right? And so, yeah, no, I love to see it. Definitely keep an eye on Trench AI, guys. I'm sure y'all already know about it. For people who don't, though, definitely check it out. Great coin here, and definitely a lot of big things coming down the line. So definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah,
Now,
a
we
little bit of
also,
alpha. So I don't want to interrupt you,
oh,
but
no, go for it.
um,
Go for it.
a little bit of alpha for Trench AI, right? We was just retweeted by the Griffin team as well, and
Yes.
the reason for this is because we are starting to release a campaign of just pure alpha on the Griffin ecosystem. So we're talking scripts. If you go to Tony's Twitter, but if you look at what he retweeted, you'll see this one, Agent Flipper, right? We are starting to show you guys how to flip tokens. We're doing tutorials on how to snipe tokens. We're doing tutorials on how to track wallets with Griffin as well. Okay, so if you have early access, or if you don't, it's very important that you keep your notifications on for Trench AI, because once you get into Griffin, you're going to need these tutorials so you can get profitable. So that's the main thing with these types of campaigns, and it's good. So not just, oh, we sat there shilling and yeah, pump the moon. No, it's a bit shit. We're actually sharing a lot of value on this page, and if you look at that post, so if you just click on that specific post, you see 52,000 views. It's
Hmm.
crazy, right? And again,
Absolutely insane.
no fake like if you notice those pages and they've got, see, we've got 15,000 followers, ridiculous. We've got 15,000 followers, but we've also got like 12,000 holders for Trench AI,
Yeah.
right? So that's the difference for these types of things. And it's something which most companies can't do. Most companies have fake followers, fake this, fake engagement, all that stuff. No, we just go, we deliver value, we share tutorials, we're just trying our best. And obviously, Griffin is new, it's new tech. So you have to break it, you have to try things, you have to try different things. And eventually you'll find something profitable and it will work. So stay tuned for the updates that we bring out.
Absolutely. Yeah. Plus being one of the first movers on Griffin and, building this agent on there and showing people how to do it themselves. Like it's a lot of cool stuff. And we're just at the very beginning of AI agents.
Yes.
You had the normal AI with Chat GPT, but then when you have agents that can actually, self question themselves and then be
Yes,
able
AGI.
to come up with solutions.
Yes,
So,
yes, yes. So there's a new thing. It was actually brought out by ChatGPT, OpenAI, and it allows the bot to actually create kind of consciousness. So there's a score. And since I think it was like 2017, they said if it hits this score, which is 83 or above, it is classed as artificial general intelligence, which some people would call artificial consciousness, which is crazy. And they just hit it. Now, when they hit it, what did they do? They raised the bar. They said, oh, no, this doesn't count. There's a few more things in there. But it's crazy to think that in the space of like 3 to 5 years, we've already hit what back then we would have considered artificial consciousness. Now, what that is the bot's not just trying to give a good answer. It's not just trying to be snarky and be like, right, let me get the job done. It will sit and ponder on the idea. So it will spend even like 2 to 5 minutes thinking. That's what you want from a bot. So let's say you're trading, you've got a back test of 500 trades, you've been trading for a month, you've got a list of all the top trading wallets, you've got your trading strategy which you like to use, you've got the different narratives that you like to follow, you've got different things like volume and filters. These are things which naturally we use in the trenches. Naturally we look through those principles. You need not just a bot to check these things, you need an AGI to go through and check those things. And luckily enough, because we've spent enough money on the API, we actually have access to that from OpenAI. So we've been even testing these types of things and having it just run through everything, because it can connect to the internet, it can connect to your trade logs, it can do all of these things which people used to consider FUD as well. That's going to be so powerful when it starts getting things right. Like, I don't think people can actually comprehend once you have a bot which works and it's smarter than you, it just excels like this, because it won't go on a bad streak for long. It will stop its trades, it will rethink things, and it will start again. I think that's what's going to be so powerful on chain. What's crazier is when these on-chain agents start making money, they'll start shopping. So they like they'll go out and they'll start optimizing. Like, okay, let me go, scour the web and scan. Let me connect to Gronk and look for the alpha. Like, they can do so many things, which are gonna be so powerful. Like this level of tech, yeah, it might not be perfect even like this cycle. You have to be like realistic. It's not gonna be like crazy, crazy in a few months, but crypto is a space which isn't going anywhere. So connecting these things on chain is going to be crazy, crazy once you get to like 2, 3, even like imagine like what the fourth cycle is going to look like. I think most of the chain is just going to be bots. Who has the best bot? And you know what's even crazier there is this. So if you look at the price of AI, it's getting more and more expensive, right? So
hmm
let's say you have ChatGPT. It used to be free. Then it went to like $20 a month. Everybody was like all losing their head. Then it went to like 50, right? Now, do you know how much the best one is?
Isn't it like 200?
Yes, bro. $200 a month. It's almost more than like how
Crazy.
much it costs to have a phone, right? So most of the
Yeah.
world can't afford that, right? And most of the world ain't going to be able to pay that for a year. So what happens when it gets to $1,000 a month, $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month, right? Your skill gap gets massive, right? That's how you create a not just intelligence gap, but a speed gap. Because if you have the best AI, you're faster, you've got more data, you basically got everything, more utility. If you don't have the best AI, you're losing. So that's why for me personally, not even in terms of like just trench AI, like yes, I want to make it perform well, but I actually have a personal interest in AI because it is very similar to how crypto was. It's kind of almost delusion, whereas like you're like, oh well, Bitcoin's gonna be a world reserve currency and governments will have it and presidents will want to buy it and everybody will transact in it. You said that 5 years ago, you're delusional, you're crazy, you should be in a mental hospital. That's what people just said.
Yep.
Now it's logic. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. 100%. And I mean, you nailed everything on the head. Like AI is just in its infancy with AI agents, and they're just going to get continuously better. They're going to learn from each other, and then there's going to be an entire network. And that's what we're seeing
Yes.
right now. The whole infrastructure, it's building itself out, and people are just continuing to improve on it. People like yourself building Trench AI, and all these good basically AI agents, they're just going to continue to improve. And yeah, it's going to basically be one of the main narratives of this cycle, and it's exciting to see. And I think it's going to be a lot of things that are going to be a lot of positive things. I think that are going to come out of it, and it kind of leads that into our next topic of the top narratives, like we were just talking about. I posted this just earlier today, and I said, the market's going to take off faster than most expect. Now's the time to place those high conviction bets, and you got to
Yes.
identify your narratives and diversify accordingly. So AI infrastructure and AI agents, right? This is why you have virtual being one of the top gainers today. It's on base. This is why you have tokens like Trench AI and others on Solana that are doing great because AI is where that attention is at. They say, where attention goes, energy flows,
Yes.
and then you also have money which flows with it. And so you need to be able to capitalize on that attention. Another one is DeSci that I've been looking at. I've noticed a few coins have gained traction on DeSci, which people don't know, decentralized science. There was a event held, I think, in Bangkok, Thailand, and it was a
Yep, I
DeSci
was there.
one. And oh, perfect. And
So
yeah,
I
so
was there, and guess who else was there? CZ was there with like the whole of Binance investing into decentralized finance. And there was also what's his name, Vitalik, and these other guys there.
Vitalik,
They're
yep.
all in this shit.
Yeah, they made waves whenever that came out. That picture came out that showed both of them in there. And I don't know if that was earlier this month or last month, but it shows that this is like how AI was maybe last year or the year before. Like this is just now taking off for DeSci, and there's not many coins. I mean, anyone who, drops some more alpha here, if you're not following pump.science, follow these guys because these guys are basically creating tokens where, again, they're pumping the tokens for science. Every time it reaches a certain market cap, there's new research that's funded. Right now, their only tokens are RIF and URO. So this shows you that these are the two main players. But whatever tokens these guys release next, or whoever they support, that token is most likely going to pump. So
Full
keep an
send.
eye on this. Yeah, 100%. And so, yeah, this is keep an eye on this Twitter account, notifications on, everything like that. Another one is quantum. So quantum crypto, quantum resistant crypto. This actually gained more traction whenever you had Google release their Willow chip, which is their AI chip a few weeks ago, was able to solve a computer problem in 5 minutes that would have taken the biggest supercomputer over 10 septillion years, older than the age of the universe. And so
What
they were
the
saying a
fuck?
lot of crazy things like that confirms that there's multiverses and there's all kinds of
Mm-hmm.
other stuff. But,
Mm-hmm.
all that aside, people were questioning, well, is Bitcoin's algorithm going to get cracked? And I think they said they had 1 qubit, and I said to crack Bitcoin's algorithm, it's like 2,000 to 5,000 qubits, somewhere around there, which would take 2 to 5 years. And so
Wow.
there's still time. People are still building things to prevent that. So it shouldn't be an issue, but it's nothing, that's anyone should be alarmed about in the next foreseeable future. But probably within 5 years, probably, be cracked. But yeah, they're already working to combat that. And I think anything quantum related, like we've already seen it on the TradFi space, quantum stocks have gone up over 400% within the past 3 to 6 months. And that's insane for stocks. And so we're already seeing a few coins that are quantum related start to rise. One of those was Quantum Fusion. Now, this one, it had quantum in the name. I don't know if they have actual tech or not, but nonetheless, you can see it went from, 8, 9 mil all the way up to 40 mil within the span of a week. And this is when that whole hype with that quantum chip was going on. And so people are eager, just like when AI was popping off, any coin that had AI in its name was doing really well. There was even another one, I don't know, was it Q? Yeah, Quantum Gospel. So this one's at 1 mil market cap. But look, if you go on the hourly chart, this thing went from, 200K all the way up to almost 15 mil market cap.
What the fuck?
And so, yeah, exactly. And so this is like people are looking for coins that have quantum in their name. Maybe the dev is really good and he's releasing his first quantum coin, he or she. And so just keep an eye on quantum coins. Like there's still some hype for them. I believe it'll be a big narrative next year. And then also NFTs. Keep an eye on NFTs. We already saw Pudgy Penguins whenever their token released, Pengu. It released, I think, at over 5 billion market cap, went to 7. Now it's around 3, 2 or 3. But you also have an OpenSea airdrop. With OpenSea, they recently created their account, OpenSea Foundation. And so anyone who's not following this, they tweeted December 20th, Ocean enters the chat. So They applied for a company in the Cayman Islands, and so that's that they did that I think a week or two ago, and that's basically confirming that they're going to have an airdrop. And so keep an eye, OpenSea FDN, their X account. You're gonna have that airdrop. You're gonna have Abstract Mainnet, which people like to call this like the Pudgy Penguins blockchain in a way.
Yeah.
They're basically partnered with Pudgy Penguins. They do a lot of things together with them,
I thought
but
Luca
they're
was the
having their
founder of
main.
this.
I'm wait. Is Luca the founder?
I thought he was.
Luca may be the founder. He may be the founder. I need to double check that actually, but it's very possible because they always talk about Pengu and Pudgy
Yeah.
Penguin. So, yeah, pretty sure. Yeah, Luca's probably the founder of this. Um, but Abstract has their mainnet in January, and so that's something that's going to create a ton of traction as well for Pengu NFTs in general. And we've already started to see like Pudgy Penguins. The floor price is 23 Ethereum. After the Pengu airdrop, this went down to 10 Ethereum and then it hovered around 15 or 16. Now it's already 23, not even 2 weeks later after the coin release. And so Penguin's already getting a lot of traction. Also, you have the anime drop, which supposedly is going to be airdropped to everyone who has the Azuki NFT. So if you go to Azuki's, right now the NFT is 12.49 ETH. Now, what I recommend everyone do not buy it on OpenSea.
Mm.
Go to blur.io, and that's where you're going to find your cheaper prices here on Blur. You can already see they're a lot cheaper because Blur doesn't charge the fees that OpenSea does. You can choose like how many fees you want to pay to the creator, how many fees you don't, all that stuff. So blur.io, best place to buy, or Magic Eden, or any other place. But yeah, keep an eye on Azuki NFTs. They're already starting to gain some traction. We'll gain a lot more, in my opinion, as we get into the new year. And then lastly, L1/institutional plays. So what this means is L1s, obviously like your Hyperliquid, your Sui, your Says, your obviously Solana, all that stuff, right? But like your institutional plays are ones that we've seen World Liberty Fi, which is Trump's company. So they've actually been buying a lot of tokens. For anyone who isn't tracking World Liberty Fi's wallets, if you
Oh, we have
actually
to.
go to
If they got a
Arkham,
Solana wallet.
yeah, they may have one actually. Let's see. Let me just go to their website here. Okay. Let me just go to Arkham just so you guys can see real quick. I think here. Because you can search up anyone's wallets. Let's see. Markets. Actually, let's see if they. It's actually, I don't think this is the one. There's another one. Arkham Platform User Guide. Oh, here we go. I think this may be it. Okay, so World, there you go, World Liberty Fi. Okay, so here you can see what tokens they have. Aave, have over $2 million worth. Link, ENA, Ondo. So like these are the coins you need to be watching, like ENA, Ondo, Link, Aave, etc. They hold Ethereum as their largest position, 55 million worth of Ethereum. It's crazy.
That's nuts.
So yeah, so these are the institutional plays I'm talking about. Obviously, BlackRock buys Bitcoin and Ethereum, but the other ones like Ondo, which actually has ties to BlackRock, ENA, it's like basically like Luna, except they're doing it right, providing good yield on stable coins, but actually have a legitimate,
Yeah,
I guess,
there's actually a method that I know a lot of Bitcoin whales do.
yeah.
It's called the Aave looping method. So
Hmm.
I didn't do it. I should have done it. I really should have done it. Um, but throughout like, do you know early cycle? So like pre-halving,
Hmm.
what they do is they use their Bitcoin and then they stake it through Aave and then use it to buy more Bitcoin. So it's like decentralized leverage, but really low, like low X, like 3X or something like that.
Hmm.
Um, and it's very, very good. Very, very, very good. I've seen people go from like 1.2 mil net worth to like 6 mil net worth, just in their Bitcoin alone, from these strategies. So it's like, it's super worth looking into. And it's something that I'm going to be doing next cycle as well.
Absolutely. And that's how you make your capital work for you, right? With these low leverage plays, and do it in the right way, right? Like at the beginning of the cycle, when that hype's restarting, when risk is at its lowest, right? There's not too much uncertainty. I mean,
Yes.
and that's how a lot of these people are making multiples off of their capital by just leveraging it. Again, being responsible, like Tyrell said, three X or less. But yeah, that's definitely how why we're seeing a lot of these high prices, and it's just like a flywheel. People keep borrowing money. I mean, MicroStrategy is doing not the exact same thing, but he's leveraging like his own shares of MSTR and using
Yes.
that to create loans to buy Bitcoin. And now there's even talks of him doing a stock split. I think a 30x to where he's going to issue 30x times the amount of shares, which is going to give him potentially, if MicroStrategy's price around 335 right now, potentially over $3 trillion worth to buy Bitcoin with,
Ooh-wee.
which, yeah, which
Yeah.
that would, dude, that would make Bitcoin. I mean, there's no telling. I mean, I think the low end was 500K per Bitcoin, up to the high end was 2.5 million. I actually wrote a
Wow.
thread on that right here on December
Wow.
24th, and I actually talked about what this could mean. And so, yeah, this shareholder meeting for this is next year. It's gonna be a private meeting. It's not yet disclosed when it's gonna be, but yeah, they filed for it and everything. And if this actually plays out, man, there's not going to be a bear market. Like it's going to be a bull run
Yeah.
for the next couple of years.
Agreed.
So yeah, something to watch out for there. But yeah, that was basically the narratives I'm watching. Tyrell, I don't know if you had any other narratives. I know I got about probably five
No, no,
minutes
no.
left and I got to pick up some dinner.
Yeah, I won't take up too much of your time. Like I've already been munching on my fucking breakfast, bro. So I'll let you I'll let you enjoy your dinner, bro. I appreciate your time. Again, thank you very much for showing up. Make sure you come on the channel more. And guys, if you do want to find out about crypto data, link for that is inside the description. Do not fade these trades, 'cause I'm telling you guys, even if you're in the trenches right now, you're trenching, you're trying to turn $100 into 1,000, whatever your goals are, whatever level you're at, you have to take advantage of perpetuals trading with the right risk management. If you take these trades and follow them correctly, you have the opportunity to make more money, right? When we get super bullish, all altcoins fly. Griffin right now is on every single exchange. Maybe you can take a leverage trade on it if you can't afford to buy a big bag, right? Those trades are all inside of Crypto Data's Twitter, inside the Telegram, and also inside the trenches. Appreciate you coming, Dale.
Hey, always a pleasure, Tyrell, and we'll definitely keep this updated. We'll try to have more of these daily or at least bi-weekly so people can get that alpha. And then in the meantime, like you said, make sure people are joining the trenches, get signed up on Blowfin, BullX, all that good stuff so you can stay up to date with these trades and take advantage of this market. So
So,
appreciate it as always, Tyrell.
appreciate it, bro. Take care.
All right. See you guys.